Hi, today I'm going to show you how you can play games running remotely, and as a client for this you need just a Raspberry Pi 2B or any other computer that can run the client application. And the only thing that you need is that the server application can run hardware accelerated graphics so you can play the games. I'm going to use ThinLinq for this, and ThinLinq is a Linux remote desktop server, and for this I need to download the client application for Raspberry Pi 2. It's going to be the ARM v7 for Dead Linux, and I need to run this ThinLinq server on the remote machine. So I've already downloaded this file here, and I've downloaded this ThinLinq server. So after filling this form here, you click on download now, and you're going to get these two files here. One is the server, one is the client. The client, you are going to install it on your Raspberry Pi or on your machine, and remember to get the right one. If you are running a Windows computer, get the Windows client or Mac OS or your Linux distribution here, and base it on your processor. I'm going to install this client here on the Raspberry Pi. I want to install this file. Type your password. Installing, skipping some of these parts, but it's simple to install it. Finish it, and now I have to send this file here to my remote machine. So because my machine doesn't have a valid IP address, in my case I need this SSH tunnel. So it's going to send my localhost port 2222 to this IP address on port 22 and through this machine here. It's a machine that can reach my machine on the same network, and I can connect to it. So I'm going to run this line here. I'm going to put my password. Okay, it's here. And first thing, I'm going to send the TL server to my middle machine here through rsync. Oh, sorry, I have to put this double points here. Okay, so my password sent, and on my middle machine here, I'm going to send it to my remote machine. So I'm going to access my remote machine and install it. So because of my tunnel, I'm going to SSH to localhost on port 2222 because this is going to redirect to my machine here. So my password, see, I'm at my remote machine here through this tunnel here. I'm going to install the ThinLinq server. It's a zip file, already unzipped it as a root. So I'm going to turn into root, and inside this folder you have this script here, or you can just double click this application here, /install server. So I'm going to install ThinLinq software. These are the packages that are going to be installed. I must configure it. Hit enter, accept it, yes. The server type, this is the master, and I just have this machine. Here's my email. The password is for web administration, for printers. If you have local printers, you can print to it. Okay, enter, configure firewall, install at Armor. Okay, ThinLinq services are running. Enter, and it's done. I'm going to reboot this machine here just to make sure that it's updated. So let's see, it already turned it on again. I'm going to kill all my user instances just to make sure that it's not logged in locally, because I have an auto login on that machine. What I'm going to do, first thing, I have to install the client here. Already installed it. So let me show you here. Go for internet and ThinLinq client. So ThinLinq has one thing that to reach a remote machine behind the net, I need to configure just one thing before, a parameter that sets an alias to reach the remote machine behind the net and through an SSH tunnel, and this is host aliases. You can configure it on, let me stop this, edit the file, nano ThinLinq+VirtualGL+Conf, and here's host aliases. It's pre-filled with some examples, so I'm going to use the remote machine is, in my case, 192.168.4457. This is a local network address behind the net and on port 22, and this is equal localhost on port 2222 is the same as here, the tunnel that I've done. And you can have multiple addresses here, and what host aliases is going to do, when I run the client here, I'm going to point to this IP address. This address has to be redirected to localhost 2222. Localhost 2222 is pointing to this IP address through this machine here. It's a machine that I can reach over the internet, and this machine can reach this other machine here. That's my target. So let's save here on Nano. And I'm going to open ThinLinq client once again. ThinLinq client here, my server 192.168.4457. This is the remote username, okay, and my password. And I didn't change anything to these options here. So despite I'm going to connect to port 2222 on localhost, I don't have to change this, because I'm going to try for this port on this IP address here, but as I told you, I cannot read this IP address if it's not through this tunnel here. So what's going to happen? Host aliases is going to redirect this to the tunnel, and the tunnel is going to redirect through this machine to this one here. So let me show you. When I connect to it, I'm going to trust the certificate. Oops, wrong password. Okay, this is the welcome screen from ThinLinq. I'm going next. If you have multiple desktops, you can choose the one that you like. I'm going to use LXDE. So you saw Pulse Audio server, it has sound, so you can hear it. This is the OpenSUSE welcome screen, and this is my remote machine. To access the local machine, how do I do? Default is that you type F8 on the keyboard, and there's going to be this menu here, and on this menu you can exit full screen, you can minimize, you can send the real F8 key to the remote machine. And let me show you. I'm going to minimize it. I'm back to Raspberry Pi. So here I'm at the remote machine here. This machine is running at my workplace. It's like 20 kilometers from here, and I can use it as if I was sitting right in front of that. Just one more thing that you have to install on the remote machine to be able to run hardware accelerated graphics is VirtualGL. So you can get it at virtualgl.org, and this application here is going to run your graphics on the remote GPU. The GPU is going to accelerate the graphics so you can run OpenGL games. VirtualGL is going to be responsible to send the graphics running on the remote GPU and not a software graphics. So it's going to have a better quality, and I can demonstrate it to you here. I'm running OpenSUSE on this machine, so VirtualGL is already installed through Zipper. Here is on the main repository. So let me demonstrate it to you. If I run glx spheres, this renderer here, it's an OpenGL renderer and it's software. So you can see the low frame rates here, and if you see this screen here, it's very low. You can't play games like this, but by using VirtualGL here, I forgot to tell that after installing VirtualGL, you have to run this VGL server config, and then you configure it. And if you want that only VGL users members are able to run 3D X server, I'm using no because I'm the only user on this machine. It's another security question. I'm using no because I'm the only one, but if you have more than one user, please put the users on VGL users group and set this to yes. This is another extension that can let someone spy on what you are doing. If you don't mind, you can use no, but the recommended is yes. And then after this, you just restart the display manager and continue. First, I need to run VGL xinfo python to get the name of the display that is being shown to me, and I have to run export display number 10. So VirtualGL is going to show me the right screen on my display here. So you saw that GLX spheres is very slow because it's running on software rendering. And now I'm going to run VGL run GLX spheres. So here I have another OpenGL renderer here. It's an AMD BART. This is a Radeon HD 6870. I don't remember well, but you can see here the frame rate is a lot better. If you see here, it has some frame skip, but it's a lot better than it was. The trick is you have to run games using VirtualGL, but VGL run is not going to work on Steam because of another thing that I'm going to explain to you. So let me open Steam here. What is going to happen? Let me first show you how a game would run without hardware accelerated graphics. First thing, I'm going to get these launch options off, and I'm going to explain it later. So let's play this game here. So, here sound is on. You can see that it's not playable because I'm using the OpenGL rendering on software. Let's ask. So, see, and there's the input lag, and there's slow motion. Yeah, you can play it like this because it's running full on software. So let me get out of this here. It's very slow. And that's going to happen to most remote desktop applications because they don't have hardware accelerated graphics. What did I had set to that line here on launch options? So I have this line here, is LD preload, blah 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 blah, common. This line here is going to make Steam load the libs on the right order so VGL Run can make his work and provide hardware accelerated graphics. I'm going to send you the link where I got this line, but if I play the same game, you're going to see that it's a lot better. and it's playable. See, the frame rate is not the best one, but it has a better response time, and for a remote machine I think that's very okay, and I can even play it. I'm not good at this game, so sorry. But as you can see, the game is running almost full speed despite the frame skip, and the frame skip is because of how the frames are sent to my computer, but it's running on full speed. It has graphics acceleration here. Oh god. So you're going to ask me, is there a way to get a better frame rate and play the game? Because the game is running quite well, but the game is running good, but the frame rate is not the best. So let me show you how you can get a better performance on this game here. And I have to stop this recording here and use another camera. Oh, before I stop this recording, and if you wanna play with a controller, ThinLink's not going to let you redirect your controller input to your remote machine, but Steam Link can do. So you can both send your controller input to Steam and get better frame rate if you are using Steam Link to access the machine here. Just a moment. Okay, so I'm back, and what I need to use is, you have to use Steam Link. So I'm going to connect my controller here. This is an IPEGA 9076, I don't remember. This is a Bluetooth controller that I can pair to Steam Link on my phone here. I'm going to configure it. My computer, Dreamland, is the remote computer running here. It's going to test the network. You need 5 GHz connection to play the game smoothly. My controller, I'm going to use the IPEGA controller here. It's already configured. Okay, and I'm going to use fast video, and I'm not going to use audio here because the audio is going to be running on the screen, so I don't need the audio. I'm just going to use the video here so you can see that the frame rate here is better than the frame rate being shown on the monitor, because of how ThinLink works sending the video. But you can see that the game is running on full speed. It's not the same as when I was running on software. And I'm going to hit play. It's going to connect to Dreamland. That's my machine here. Steam is going to show up. I've changed it from big screen to this one, so you can see it here. It's my controller over there. You can see it. So let's just click play here. It's the right trigger. So you can see the game is being shown here on full screen, and it's on window there. So I use the controller here. Can you see the difference? It's running on full speed, but there's some frame skips there. it's not that the frame rate is low, but the video being displayed there is slower than this video here. Why? Because Steam Link is translating this to a video. The full screen here is a video, and the full screen here is not a video. That's why there's a frame skip here and not here on this screen using Steam Link. So let me show you. I'm going to play some here. I think I had this. No, I still don't have dash here. Oh. Ah. This is a mimic, another mimic. The audio is running on the remote computer, on my monitor speakers, but the controller is from the IPGA here through Steam Link that's going to reach the remote machine there. So the same way that I canceled to receive audio here, I could get a blank screen here and play just using my monitor. So I would have my Steam Link just for the input using the controller, because I can't use ThinLinq to send the controller input to my remote machine. Let me stop the game here. Why and quit. So you're going to ask me, why do I need ThinLinq and VirtualGL to play the games on a remote machine if I can just use Steam Link? So the reason is that machine was turned off. I used WakeOnLAN to turn that machine on, so I would have to make a way to run Steam on that machine. And let's say that I had my user logged on that machine and I had Steam running and I started Steam Link here on my phone. What would happen is that when I was playing the game here, everything that I'm going to get shown on this Steam Link screen is being shown on the remote machine screen. So let's say I have a computer here that it's not going to show this screen anywhere else except on this computer here as a client. So if there's someone right in front of the physical monitor, the person is not going to see anything, can use the machine for anything else. Since it's running Linux, another user can start his own session and use the machine while I can still play my game, and no one is going to see what's happening here. I can even disconnect from this machine here. Let me just type F8 here to bring the ThinLink menu. Let me click this one and it's going to disconnect from the machine, but the machine is still running. So I can use ThinLink to start my machine remotely to get a headless virtual session, and this virtual session is still running after I just disconnect from ThinLink, and I can still play my game here. there's not going to be sound because I disabled on Steam Link. So there are two things, ThinLinq and Steam Link. Don't mistake both. So here I am playing my game here. So that's another advantage. If you have a computer on your basement that it's your main computer and you just want to leave your computer there and be able to access it remotely and play games, you can leave your computer on your basement. You can have Steam Link configured and you can leave it able for someone else to use it. You can share your computer. Oh, I've died. You can share your computer with other users, so and you have your privacy because no one is going to see this screen here, and you don't need to use ThinLinq just for this. You can use ThinLinq to run anything that you have to leave running on desktop session. And let me show you, I'm going to reconnect to my computer there, and since I've already started, it's going to show from where it stopped. So here I am again playing it. So let's say that you want to play something else, like a 3D shooter. Let me quit this game here. Let's go play Left 4 Dead 2. This is not the most powerful machine. It's a Phenom 1055 running a Radeon 8G 6870. So you can see it here, the frame skips here, and the video being shown here, it's a lot better. So I think that the most important part of ThinLinq and VirtualGL is the ability to let you get hardware accelerated graphics. And for playing on this screen here with lower, it's not a lower frame rate, it's they have a lot of frame skip because of how it works with the video here, but you can see that the game is running on full speed. So let's play a single player campaign here and start the game. There is some input lag, so you're not going to get the best gaming experience as if you were on the same computer, but it's very great to be able to get a remote machine capable of playing games. So I suck at this game playing on the controller, but there's something that I have to show you. There's a problem when you are running on a remote connection and you try to use your mouse. Because of the way that the mouse input is sent to the remote machine, FPS games are going to work crazy. Let me show you. So here, when I play on the controller here, it's fine. So there's some input lag, but it's playable. And what's going to happen when you send mouse input to FPS games? See it? It's going to run around like crazy. I'm putting down, I'm putting up, to the left, to the right, and I think that's because of how the input from mouse is sent to the remote machine. I've seen a guy trying to use Spice to remotely, he was using Spice and VirtualGL, and he was getting the same input problems when using a mouse. So that's why you need the the Steam Link to be able to send the controller. If I had a keyboard and a mouse that I could connect to this Steam Link here, I could send the mouse input and keyboard input and with no problem because of how Steam Link works. So I could have computer running Steam Link, and then I could play it on the computer through Steam Link, running the game on the remote machine. Oh, the boomer is here. Oh. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, everyone is here. So, I don't know why you seen that there was a connection problem, but I'm still playing here. Oops. So let me stop here. So the advantages of running a machine using ThinLink. You can use VirtualGL to get hardware accelerated graphics. This is not the best GPU out there, so you can get even better frame rates. You can play some games. Not all games are playable because you can only use VGL run to accelerate OpenGL games. So you can't play Vulkan games, you can't play Proton games. I think that you are not going to be able to play it. I still have to check, but I think that Proton games are not going to run well. Maybe if you set Proton games to run through OpenGL, maybe, but I'm not sure if that's possible. You can access your computer remotely to start Steam, and no one's going to see your screen, so you can play your games. Okay, so this is an update here. So let's say that you have a Linux distribution and you want to run Steam Link on this computer to access the remote machine. So you can install Flatpak on your distribution. You have to install through Flatpak here, running this command. I'm going to put this command on the description of the video. I'm installing using --user. I will run the command using my user here. So yes, and after installing it, if I ever want to update Steam Link, I have to run this command here. It's finishing installation. Okay, so it's already updated. So to run Steam Link, I just have to input this command here. Let's type it here. So Steam Link is running on my computer, my local computer. But before continuing, I'm going to start my Steam remotely. Remember what I have to do first. I've started this SSH tunnel here. I'm already connected, machine already on. I installed my ThinLinq client here. I've done the host aliases configuration. So this IP address is going to send to my remote computer. This computer here is not my local computer. I can show you. Hit F8 and minimize this. So you can see this machine here is my local computer running ThinLink, and this machine here is my remote machine. So start Steam here is running remotely. So let's leave Steam running. I'm going to disconnect since I'm going to use Steam Link to play the game with more video quality. I'm going to disconnect to it. So Dreamland is my remote machine. The local machine is Tiabini here. So let's see here. Steam's running on the remote machine. So Steam Link here on local machine. Going to start now. I have to connect a controller, please just a second. So I've just plugged in my Xbox 360 computer and it jumped to this screen here. I'm going to, I forgot I've started Steam here locally. So let me quit this Steam. So I'm not going to connect to the local machine. I'm going to connect to another computer here, and I have to pair it. So I have to connect to ThinLink again, so I have to put this number there. Let me pair it on Steam, minimize this, 4347, Alt tab into ThinLink, pair Steam Link. Okay, so Tiabini just showed up here. Okay, so let's minimize session here. Dreamland is showing up, so let's start playing. Okay, so that's the same screen just like my smartphone showed up. So here it loaded on big screen. Let's play Left 4 Dead 2. Oh, I have to turn on the sound. So I'm using my controller here. Here, the campaign. Oops, the campaign, single player, and I could play multiplayer, but I just want to show you. So this game is running on the remote machine. Let me try to put my cell phone here so I can have my hand free to play. So loading. So let's see how it does play on the remote machine. It's not a very powerful machine. This local machine is even better, but what I want to show here is that I'm able to play it on a remote machine by starting a remote desktop application and play it remotely. It's a lot better than from my cell phone. Oh, it's a lot better to play. Let me try to use mouse. Oh, I can use mouse input. Oh, that's a lot better. Oh, that's what I'm talking you. Oh, guinea pig. It's the jockey. Oh, damn. Oh, you can hear an echo because I'm connected to ThinLink. Let me just stop. I'm going to disconnect from ThinLink. Here, let me show you. This screen here is running on ThinLink. Just see the difference in frame skips. Oh, here I can't play through ThinLink. You see, mouse is crazy. It won't stop turning, but Steam Link does a better mouse use because it's built for that. So this Alt tab here is this machine here is the remote machine. I'm just going to disconnect from this ThinLink session, but I'm not going to stop this remote session here. So I just disconnected and I'm going to connect to Steam Link once again, and I'm going to hit play here. So back to my game. Now running on Steam Link on the local machine, and the game is playing on the remote machine. There's some... Oh, I've lost sound. Why? I did something that stopped sound. Let me check the sound problem. I'm going to restart the connection here. I'm going to redo things once again. So once again, what I have to do to run Steam Link on this computer here, to connect to the other computer and be able to play the game with more quality, I have to connect to my remote machine using ThinLinq. Why? Because ThinLinq is going to provide me hardware accelerated graphics, but this machine here, this remote machine, is under NAT. This IP address is not a valid IP address, so to connect, in my case, to connect to this machine using ThinLinq, I have to set up host aliases on this file here, .thinlinq.tlclient.conf, host aliases to say to ThinLinq that this computer here on this port is going to point to localhost on this port here, and I have to start my SSH tunnel here pointing the same IP address on this port to my localhost port on this port. And this machine here is a machine that can reach both my machine over there, and I can reach this machine from my local machine. And so tunnel is on, host alias is set, and then I have to run the Steam Link installed through Flatpak. Oops, sorry. First I have to connect to the remote machine using ThinLinq and choose my remote desktop session here. So this is my remote machine. I'm going to run Steam on the remote machine. Steam is running on the remote machine. I'm going to disconnect from this ThinLinq session, and then I'm going to connect to it using Steam Link. Why? Because Steam is already running there. I just closed the remote session from ThinLinq. So let's play. For that, play. Okay, now I don't have the echo. You can see that the video streaming is a lot better than I got directly from ThinLinq, and the machine is capable. The machine is capable of playing it using hardware accelerated graphics. This is normally not possible on most remote access applications. Single player. Okay. So let's start game. I have a controller here connected, but I've seen that by using Steam Link I can use the mouse input and the keyboard, so that's a lot better. Other solutions directly can't provide me a way to use the mouse on first person shooters. I've talked about that later. Okay, here it is.
There are 3 other people here, son. Oh, good. You can count.
So let's finish.
Hey, come on now. Quarreling amongst ourselves ain't gonna solve nothing. Anyway, I think this building's on fire.
I'm going with the X here.
Good enough for me. Grab a weapon, let's go.
I have some input lag, but for a remote machine I think that's okay. Oh, damn. Ah, damn. So let's try to rush to the end of the games campaign. Okay, so for OpenGL games, it's okay to play. I think that has a nice playability despite of the lag. There's some lag to the input, but I'm playing on a machine that doesn't have to have Steam installed. It can be a simple computer, a node computer. In fact, in Raspberry Pi 3 you can install Steam Link on a Raspberry Pi 3 microcomputer, and that's a Raspberry Pi 2. It's not compatible with Steam Link. And don't mistake Steam Link for ThinLinq. ThinLink's one thing for remote connection, and Steam Link is the Valve solution to remote gaming. So why I'm using ThinLinq to start a remote desktop that's able to run hardware accelerated graphics using VirtualGL, and so I can use a machine that no one is in front of that, or someone can use the machine while I'm running my game here, and no one's going to see what I'm doing there. And I'm using Steam Link because video quality is better and controller response is better than using Steam Link, so than using ThinLinq. So I'm using both solutions to get the best of it. Oh, video stopped recording while I was playing. So that's it. Let me close the door here, and that's it. So this is the end. That's how you can have a not powerful machine, or any machine that you can remote connect to a better machine, and play your games without the problem of someone not being able to use the computer locally. This way you can have your better computer on a basement, acting as a headless server, and then you can play your games in your house or remotely. So thanks for watching. This is it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. So see you.